original founders of Awareness Photography. The vision for Awareness Photography is to bring attention to the issues that no one wants to talk about. The only true way to solve world problems is to bring them to light to resolve them. The Racism Awareness Project was our first short film. We knew with just doing pictures, it wouldn't get the message across clearly. So after discussing the project with my friends, Kevin Watkins and Bree Cast, we decided how to get this show going. So I hope y'all enjoy the film and discuss the problem so we can get closer to a resolution.
That was a very powerful introduction by Dr. Jackson.
Yes, it was very insightful. Racism is a very, very hot subject, especially during this past year.
Unfortunately, it's been around since forever, especially for our people.
And I know racism is typically seen as a black and white issue, but I feel, all ethnicities experience racism at some level.
That's true. Hispanics, Asians, blacks, whites, just about everyone has been victims to it.
Don't forget us mixed ethnicity people. We get it too.
Yes, girl. Even within the same race, you can have racial tension. Darker skinned blacks hating on lighter skinned blacks. It's crazy. But some people were just taught that way.
With all the attention being given to racism now, I do believe that positive strides are being made across the world to improve the situation.
Yeah, the more we're educated and the more we speak on subjects like this, the better, hopefully, people will respond and deal with each other.
I would truly hope so. I learned and I was taught, to have racist views against people that were different from me. And I learned it from a different generation of people. Unfortunately, I learned it from my parents.
No way, Trevor. Really?
Yep, it started when I was a child.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a news bulletin. American Airlines Flight 101 leaving New York City has crashed into the East River in what is initially being reported as a terrorist bombing. Multiple passengers have been reported as injured. We will have more as details come in.
Wow, did you see that? It's terrible.
Yeah, it's a shame. All those people injured. Hope none of them died.
They're calling it a terrorist attack. It had to have been those people from Pakistan.
Why do you say that? They haven't said who did it.
We know who did it. That's what those people do. Anytime I see one of them in an airport or on a plane, I automatically get nervous and start looking for security. They're always blowing up buildings and planes.
That's really hard to believe.
Really? Come here, son. Why is it so hard to believe? Certain people are just naturally that way. It's no different than Latino women being angry or black women being promiscuous.
Or black men being criminally oriented.
It's just the way it is, son. You better get used to it.
Wow, it's crazy.
Fortunately, I kind of learned equally, about equal parts of being, people are stereotyped. And as I've gotten older, I was a better person just because I don't treat people unequal because of race, background, or gender.
My experience with racism was a direct result of my actual birth name. It's happened a lot. This one time when I interviewed for a job that I knew I was qualified for. I remember as a teenager, this one job, man, I really, really wanted.
Yo, Kareem, where you coming from, man? Well, actually, I just turned in this job application. I'm really qualified for it, so I hope it pans through.
Well, I just applied for this IT position at corporate. I'm pretty sure I have a great shot at that position.
Well, this is about the 4th time I've turned in a job application. I really hope I can get this job.
Hang in there, Kareem. But for real though, you should have got that last job you applied for. Like, seriously, you had way more experience than the guy that got the job.
Here are the applications from the candidates for you to review and interview.
Thank you. I'll review these and get right back to you. Kareem, nah, no. Ramon, Brandon Cahill, yeah, take him. Shaquita, no. Another Hispanic? Heck no, not in this kind of industry. Miss Johnson,
Yes, sir.
can you call these 2 applicants for me? Brandon Cahill and Amy Smith, please. Thank you.
Exactly, man. I hope you really get the job. I actually turned in an app for this major firm, and I don't have a whole lot of experience, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
That's messed up, Kareem. I hope you get a job one day.
You got jokes, girl. I got a job, but it did take a minute.
It's ridiculous when you think about it, though.
You know, I've had friends tell me their parents named them certain names so they would not be identified by race or anything else.
You know, that's crazy. I have heard the same thing too. But you know, as parents, we should be able to name our kids whatever we want to name them.
Yeah. My name definitely gives me away.
You guys know what I hate? When I go to a store simply to shop. It's so annoying and definitely based on race. Y'all know what I mean.
Did you find what you were looking for?
No.
Well, maybe next time you will.
I won't be coming back here. I'll find what I'm looking for somewhere else.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Fifth Avenue Clothing. How's your day going?
We're doing fine, thank you.
I hope they have that dress that I've been looking for.
What exactly are you looking for?
Something really edgy, out of the box. I tend to be a very outspoken, edgy person.
Oh, good. I think we have the perfect piece for you. Be right back there. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Fifth Avenue Clothing. How's your day going?
Our day is great. We love your store. Hopefully we can find something for her.
Yeah, you're so cute.
Thank you.
Come on, let's go. Let me know if I can help you find anything. Can I help you find something? We're just gonna look around.
Just pretend to touch it. there's something wrong.
No, ma'am. Nothing wrong.
He keeps following us. He probably thinks that we're gonna steal something.
Did you We'll find it somewhere else. That mess is so annoying, and it's not the first time it's happened.
I call it shopping while black.
Has anyone heard of discursive racism?
Never heard of that before. What does that mean?
It's when a person communicates racism through specific words to describe people and places based upon stereotypical racial differences to communicate inequalities that exist in society. I'll give you guys an example of a friend of mine. When I was a kid, he had just moved to my town when this happened to him.
You just moved down the block from here. What's your name?
Ohanu.
Ohanu. Boy, what type of name is Ohanu? Definitely an American name.
No, it's Indian.
Oh, like from India?
My dad says that your people come over here and take our jobs.
My mom says they're the ones who always try to scam people over the phone.
I'm not from India. I'm a Native American from North Dakota.
So do y'all live in teepees and dance around whoopee?
They don't live in teepees, but my folks said it's because of y'all that the pro football team had to change their name. What's really the big deal?
Don't y'all know I got Cherokee in my family, y'all?
Girl, you ain't got no Indian in your family. Stop playing.
Whatever. So, does your family own a corner store or something?
So because I'm black, I got to be gangster, hood, or ghetto. That's discursive racism.
Or because I'm Asian, I have to own a Philippine restaurant or a supermarket.
Or because I'm Hispanic, I have to be a landscaper?
Exactly. Or just like Anahu, just because he's Native American, people automatically think that he's supposed to live in a teepee or that his family owns a corner store.
Seriously though, the problem with racism isn't just a black or white or Native American or Hispanic issue. It's a people issue. Even us mixed people have to deal with it many times from our race.
Really? I've honestly never thought of that.
Mixed race individuals are the fastest growing demographic in the United States. But according to a recent study, some Americans can still not grasp the concept that someone can be both black and white, or in my case, white and Indian.
Tell us about it, Ashley.
One of my very first memories was my teacher would call me up front once a year to get my free school supplies from my tribe. And as I'm coming back to my seat, all the kids are making fun of me for being Indian and poor.
My issues stem from my own race. Black people have historically been preyed upon when it comes to racism. Darker skinned blacks have always had an issue with me, always giving me grief. For example, I was in the military and they call you by your last name in the military. And they said, Jenkins, I need for you to do this. But there were two Jenkins. So we both stood there and we looked. And, trying to figure out who they were speaking to. And they said, the light-skinned Jenkins. I was offended, so I know that she was.
That simply sucks, and I just can't deal with that. However, have y'all heard of interactional racism?
I've never.
Interactional racism. It's racism that's based on a person's interactions with another person of a different race. For example, when someone calls the police on somebody that they see in the neighborhood that's not of the same race, they automatically assume that they don't belong there and they call the police.
Oh, yes. It's like when people see a person of color cross the street, they cross the street. They're on the same side, right? And it's almost like people clutch their purse because they think they're automatically going to get robbed.
Or what happens to me at the store, I just get bypassed because they can't see that I'm a manager of the store.
Excuse me, miss. Are you the manager?
No, ma'am, but is there something I can help you with?
No, I need a manager. I saw one over there. Excuse me, ma'am. Is there a manager available?
Yes, the manager's here. What's the issue?
I have a complaint about the product I've purchased and I need to see a manager.
Well, right over there.
Excuse me, ma'am. I was told that you are the manager of this store. I have a problem with an item I bought.
I'm sorry that you're having a problem with your item. I would love to help you out, but only a manager can help you with that.
But aren't you the manager?
No, he is.
Yes, ma'am. I am the manager. I have been told that you have a problem with a purchase. How can I assist you?
It's almost as if people think that Latinos or even Latinas can't be an owner, a manager, or an executive of a business. That makes me so mad even thinking about it. I don't say this too often, but what really affects me is what I have to go through, all because I'm in an interracial marriage. You guys, I get treated differently. So bad. And it's all because I'm married to a white man.
Hun, I'm not saying your parents are bad people. I'm saying that they can be racist at times.
Well, I'm not sure that's so. They might be a little biased.
Do you remember when I first met your parents? We were at that lovely dinner party. They kept making racist remarks against Mexicans, and some were even directed towards me. They've gotten better over the years, but they would have much rather you married into your own culture. They would have much rather you married a white girl.
I'm not sure I can believe that. Are you sure you're not maybe overreacting a little bit?
Do you remember when we were first engaged? Do you remember that? And your mom called me. And she called me to congratulate me. But in that phone call, she said that I was to not speak Spanish to her over the phone. She said if I was ever in her home, that I was to speak only English. Your father continues to make racist remarks. And he talks about how Mexicans come over the border illegally, how they come to take our jobs. He talks about how they bring drugs into our country. The thing is maybe there's a measure of truth to that, but the majority of Mexicans come here legally, and they contribute to their communities positively.
You know, I can agree with you, and what he said to you was totally not cool.
I think the most challenging thing is that when I'm alone, people treat me differently. They denigrate me and put me down. They exclude me, and just even their body language is off. And the moment you walk up, they completely change their demeanor, and they're more respectful.
I'm so sorry. I'm sure we're not the only couple in an interracial relationship. And even if we were, this type of behavior is not permissible. I understand you and I care for you, and I am going to speak to my parents.
Thank you.
Wow, Melinda, y'all seem so happy. I had no idea you had to deal with that. But don't get it twisted. I mean, it's not just a Black or Asian or Hispanic thing. You know, I feel like white people can experience racism as well in different forms. I've seen it happen to kids, and it happened to me when I was in college.
Who's that little girl?
I don't know, I never seen her before.
Hopefully she doesn't want to play with us.
Can I play with y'all?
Why do you want to play with us?
No, you can't even play.
Probably don't even know like the rules of the game.
You could show me.
We don't want to play with you.
Yeah, you can't play with us.
Ain't that Hillary chick?
Yeah, that's her. Is that white girl going out with Chuquan, ain't it?
Yeah, why they always taking our black men?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. What you mean, hey, girl? You trying to sound all black now that you got a black boyfriend?
Look, I'm just trying to say hello. I ain't trying to sound like anything.
What you need to be doing is going out with your own people.
Yeah, bad enough y'all got everything. Now you gotta take our men too?
It's so unfortunate that anyone has to deal with racism of any kind in 2021.
So true. There's so many things on racism topics we hadn't even talked about.
I have a friend from the Philippines whose mom used to tell her to hide in the car so that the workers won't see her. Otherwise, they won't get a hotel because they weren't white.
Wow. And I'm sure she was a lovely lady.
She grew up and married a Chinese man whose mom was very nasty and mean to her simply because she wasn't Chinese. But she grew up to be a strong woman.
I know some people are prejudged by their accent. I have a friend, she's white, but she has an accent. And so people tend to treat her pretty badly. You add on top of that she's blonde, and people she feels thinks that she's dumb, and they'll talk louder to try and help her understand what's going on. It's awful. She has difficulty trying to get a job because of her accent.
That's truly sad to hear. I think I know who you're talking about. I've met her, and she's a wonderful person.
I have a new friend that's Native Indian, and she looks white. She's homeschooled, and she told me about, she's catching a lot of grief from students and teachers. And she told me about this teacher told her to stop lying about being Native Indian. And then she said this other teacher says, "You are the whitest Indian ever."
People get so hung up on race, background, and social status. The only thing people need to be concerned with is that we're all a part of the human race. That's all that matters.
That's true. And one day, I hope that we will never have to go through any kind of racism at any time. Any kind.
But until then, let's do all we can to embrace everyone so that we can work together towards a more positive future.
Yes.
Dark